everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope today's been treating you well. In today's video I have got my first update for my project No Pan Left Behind. So I only started this last month. I picked an eyeshadow palette, completely randomised my eyeshadow palette in an app that I downloaded onto my phone, picked an eyeshadow palette, and it was my aim to use it 10 times in 1 month, and I'm very happy to say that I have actually managed to use this palette 12 times, because when I picked it, and it hasn't quite been a month yet as I'm filming this, but I used it 10 times and then I wasn't able to film the update for a couple of days, so I have managed to use it 12 times in 1 month. I've really been enjoying it. I knew that I would when I picked the palette that the randomizer chose for me. So this is the MUA. Oh, I've just dug my fingernail into it. Well, at least that tells us how deep the pans are. That pan, I'm not counting that. That pan wasn't there like 30 seconds ago. The MUA Amber Sunset 5-pan palette. I just dug my finger into that one. How annoying. But you can see I'm still obviously a very, very long way from hitting pan on any of these shades. But I'm really happy with the progress on these. Specifically this second shade in that I've just dug my finger into, and the bright orange tone. I have just been using these on an everyday basis. I've been mixing these two together, the first two, to get something to just put through the crease, something that's like darker than this one but lighter than this one, to get something a little bit in between. I've been dipping into both, so obviously I'm getting like a lot of use out of both of those, but I've really just been putting the orange one all over the lid, probably doing a wing of various different colours and calling it a day. And that's just been what I've been doing every single day. I do have a few pictures that I will put up on the screen here. So like I say, just a wash of orange like across the eye. So this picture here, I basically just put that orange all the way over. I use that second shade across to like deepen up the outer corner a little bit. I use that deeper shade under the eye as well, rather than the bright orange. Used more of the brownie shade under the eye and added a brown wing. I think this one was. I think this was the Made by Mitchell brownie points, the one that's not shimmery, the one that's more of like a matte finish. And then another picture that I got later on in the month, this one was the orange shade on the outer corner, like blended up through the crease, and then I added a green wing. So the following month I am hoping to get more pictures throughout the month of like the looks that I managed to do. Obviously not every single one, obviously not the 10, but I was definitely thinking I was going to get more than 2 throughout the month. But that's just how that has happened. It doesn't matter, but they are 2 of the looks that I've been doing. Honestly, I have just been putting like something through the crease and then putting a Pastel Roses shimmer multi-chrome across the lid. Been loving doing that, but that was number 1, the first palette from the project No Pan Left Behind. So it's time to pick another one. Let me get my phone up again. Time to pick another one. So I use the Tiny Decisions app, and I'm still like figuring out how to use this. So I have all of my eyeshadow palettes in this wheel, and I have set it so that once I've picked one, like I won't be able to pick this one again, in the hopes that I'll eventually be able to get through all of them. But I've got such a vast amount of eyeshadow palettes that probably won't happen. But we're going to spin the wheel and see what our September palette is going to be. P. Louise Smoke. Oh, I haven't used this one yet. Let me go and get it. So this is the one that we got in the budget box a little while ago. Another sort of neutral palette. So this is obviously more like neutral cool tone, whereas Amber Sunset was very much a warm palette. So we're going for a different vibe. I was getting slightly worried that I was going to get like Beauty Bay, like the pastel palette, or something that was very spring as we come into autumn, but I'm happy with this. I'm very, very happy with this. I have only used this once, I do believe, when I got this and reviewed it the very first time. So let's zoom in and we can create some sort of, obviously, again, a very neutral eyeshadow look, but that's fine. I am actually going out today, so I didn't want something too crazy. So one last close-up on how all of those pans are looking. Obviously, you can still see 100% of the pattern on all of these. Like I say, I think I've only used this the one time. I'll have swatched it and then used it. So I'm hopeful that we can like wear down the pattern on the pans. Let's wait and see. I'm just going to start with a big fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into Too Hot to Handle and I'll just put that through the crease. I do like that this has got the mirror in it, so I only need this one palette. I don't need to be like picking up a bronzer or anything like that. That is my perfect transition tone. Not too dark, not too light, a little bit smoky, hence the name. So that's that shade all blended through the crease. Standard, it's just a brown. And then I'm going to take a much smaller, more tapered brush and I'm going to dip into More Action, which I feel like out of the two darker shades, this one is slightly warmer, so more towards what my preference is. And I'm just going to deepen up on the outer corner a little bit and then I'll decide which shimmer I want. Honestly, probably that lighter one because of course I want a light, bright shimmer. Of course I do. Okay, so that's the outer corner. Deepened up, I did also put that through the crease a little bit. And let's go in with the darker shimmer, like further out, which is called Meet Your Match. I don't think I've even swatched this one. I mean, that's too dark for me to use like further in, but I can put a bit of that further out on the lid and that's much more cool toned. That's not my favourite tone and also it's too, like I say, it's too dark for me to use further in, but on the outer corner, absolutely fine. I will just blend that out a little bit. So it's adding a nice little bit of shimmer further out, but that's definitely too dark for me to use all across the lid. I am going to get a brush. I'm getting my nails done tomorrow. You'll be happy to hear. There's very few videos left of me complaining about the length of my nails, so I need to find a brush to do the inner corner. I'm just going to take this little sort of flat brush and pick up that lightest shimmer, which is called Blazing Babe. Taking a little bit of that on the inner half-ish. I'm just going to take that up to the crease, but not past it. I don't want to go too overboard today. I'm going out today, but I'm only going shopping with my friends, so I don't need to be full glam. I mean, I do full glam just to go to work, but I don't want to scare them, you know? Yeah, that's applied really nicely with that brush. Sometimes shimmers don't work too well with a brush, but that one is almost like bouncy. It's like it's creamy. It's a really beautiful shimmer. So that's the eyeshadow done. I'm just going to go back over with that first big brush just over the top, around all the edges to make sure there aren't any lines. Everything's really nicely blended and I'm very, very happy with that. So I'm going to go off, I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'm going to add, I might do a brown wing. I'll see how I feel. I might do a bright colour, let's see how I feel. I'm going to do the rest of my face and then we can do something under the eyes together. We can finish it up together. How about that? Okay, so that's the rest of the face done. I need to be speedy now because my friends are actually on the way to collect me and I'm still wearing my pyjamas, so what am I doing? I'm finishing up under the eyes. I'm just going to take that small brush and I'm going to dip into more action and I'm just going to run that under the eyes. The eyeliner that I decided to use was the MUA Intense Colour liquid eyeliner in Russet and it's the e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara, and I'll put some mascara on the lower lashes as well. I feel like I want something brighter on the inner corner. Do we think that that shade would be too dark for right on the inner corner? I mean, we can try it. We could try it. I can always cover it up with something else. So just taking that same little brush, just getting it like right on the corner. Tap that in there. Yeah, that's okay. It's slightly deeper than what I would maybe usually do, but I feel like that's okay. That's okay considering my friends are probably sat outside my house currently, so that will do. Bit of mascara on the lower lashes. I'm like checking my phone because they're like, we're on the way. Hurry, hurry, Millie. And a bit of mascara and I am done. There we go. So this is my palette for the rest of September and probably the start of October-ish. I like the way that this has turned out. I'm looking forward to using this with some of my pastel roses. I'm looking forward to trying this with some coloured eyeliner. I just didn't have the time to try and find one and like do it correctly. Also, could really do to run the colours through my hair again, but no time. Friends outside. I need to go. Let me zoom you out. So this is the look that I'm going to be wearing probably for the rest of September and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm glad that, I mean, I know we're only 2 in, but I'm glad that so far we have got sort of seasonally appropriate palettes. I feel like that's where I'm going to struggle. If I get something that's very sort of spring, summer in autumn, or if I get something that's very autumn in spring, I feel like that's where I'll struggle because I definitely do my makeup to the seasons. I definitely like to do that, so that's probably where I'm gonna come up to some resistance in this Project Pan series, but so far it's all gone to plan so far. So if you want to see the updates for this Project No Pan Left Behind series, I do have a playlist where I will be adding all of the updates. Obviously I'm only doing them once a month and this is only the first update, so there's not a lot there at the minute, but there will be in time. There will be more updates coming. I am enjoying it so far, so there will be updates coming. I am also doing a Project 10 uses. I've got a whole separate playlist for that, so you can see that as well if you are interested in Project Pan content. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.